Hey, it's Eric Carlene with Realty One, and this is my buddy Donnie Schneider with Loomis Mortgage. And we just have a really interesting thing going on right now with the interest rates because they're so high. With our Phoenix market right now, we still have high interest rates, and we're still in a very strong seller's market due to the lack of inventory. But believe it or not, people are still buying. Interest rates, you'll say that the highest rates in, I'm sorry, how long, Donnie?
Since my career started. So that's been at least 20 years.
All right. So we're hovering right around like 7.35 or right around there.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. But right now is a good time to take advantage of that. I mean, obviously nobody wants a higher rate. But because of the higher rates, you can take advantage of the market by asking for seller concessions. Those seller concessions can be used to buy down the rate.
Right. So when people talk about buying down the rate, explain to me what that means.
Well, you could take either your own cash or the cash from seller if they're giving seller contributions, and you could actually buy down your rate. So you could pay money to buy that down. There's also ways to do it where the escrow holds the money and actually makes payments towards the interest. But essentially, you're using funds to get a lower rate than where the par market is, to where you're not either getting money towards your closing costs or you're not paying money. That's called par. So buying down the rate is taking extra money to actually get a lower rate.
So how much is it to buy down the rate? Because I hear, I've heard people say 1 point is like 1%, but in reality, it's not. So
it's not. Yeah, that's something that's really hard to show without actually showing you an interest rate chart of where we're paying and what the investors charge us to buy down the rate. It's definitely not a 1-to-1 ratio. Each product also has a different ratio. Sometimes you could buy, it costs you a 0.5 point to buy it down, 1/4 point in interest. And a point is just 1% of the actual loan amount.
Okay.
I'm sorry, purchase price, not loan amount.
Purchase price. Okay. And what they're doing is we're going through when we make offers. I got buyers and we ask for the closing costs, or I'm sorry, ask for seller concessions, and that's what we use to help buy down your current rate. I also hear, there's 3-2-1 buy downs. How exactly does that work?
So that is you have a starting rate, your par rate. Let's just call it 8% in today's market. So when you do a 3-2 buy down, the first year your rate is bought down 2%.
Okay.
The second year it's 1%. So your first year, if we're at 8, your first year you're going to be at 6%. Second year 7%, and then the third year you'll go to your final amortization of 8%.
Okay. Now, is that more expensive or the less than expensive if you just do a typical buy down?
Typically it's more expensive to buy it because you're buying down the rate for 2%, basically.
Sure.
And now, is that cheaper than buying down that's a good question. I don't want to mislead anybody. But obviously it'll be cheaper to buy down at 1% for the life of the loan versus the 2%. The idea of a 3-2-1 buy down is that you are hoping that the market corrects itself, our rates lower, and you can refinance out of that before you go to that full amortization at 8% term.
Okay. Now, typically when you buy a home and you get a new loan, how long is it before you can actually refi?
Well, we have programs that you can refinance right away. I mean, typically lenders don't like that, but if you go into a hard money loan to get the home or something like that, you can refinance right away. Typically, it's 6 months or 12 months to use the appraised value on a standard loan.
Okay, cool.
After 6 months, you can use the acquisition cost.
All right. So Goldman Sachs just put an article out just recently, which I thought was kind of interesting because we've been saying, our market's not going down. Goldman Sachs has actually said it was. And now they've come back and basically stated what we've been trying to say is here in Phoenix, our values are going to keep going up. And they finally admitted it.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy when they came out and actually said it, because all the experts here in the Valley are like, there's no way that our property values are going to drop anytime soon. Lack of inventory, the jobs that are created here. There's still, it used to be like 232 people a day moving to the Valley. I think that did reduce to like 198. I think was the last article I read, but like, what's the difference? So,
insane.
I don't think the property values, Zillow estimated 5% over the next 2 years, or each year over the next 2 years.
Right.
If I remember correctly, I believe I follow MBS Highway and Barry Habib, and I believe he thought that that stat was pretty right on. So, the cost of waiting, which I do have a chart here I could show you if you're interested. Let me pull that up. And if any of your clients ever want to know the cost of waiting and what it truly costs, and if they should buy now, if they tell you they're waiting for the market to crash, this might be something if you want me to make and pop up. It takes me just a few minutes to create this. But let's just say, can you see my screen or no?
Yep, I can see it. I got it.
Okay, so if you look here, the property value now is $400,000. If you wait 2 years, if we estimate a little under 5% each year, your property value is going to go up to $437,000+. So you're going to be paying more for it if you wait 2 years, if you're waiting for the interest rates to drop. Well, the problem with that, and why good investors are investing now, is the simple fact that you can marry the home and you can date the rate. Because if you look here, the first year at $400,000 at a rate of 7.25, and this is putting 20% down, your total monthly expense is $2,638. If you wait for 2 years, now that you're paying the extra $37K that your home is worth, and you look and your interest rate is 5.5%, your payment is only $1,988. So you're saving a little under $200, a little over $200. But you're missing out on that $37,000 of equity.
Yeah.
If you also look, your total cash to close is around $85,000 now today. But if you waited till that value was up to $437K, now if you're putting 20% down, this is just, you don't have to put 20% down. It's another misconception in the industry. But if you do want to put 27 down, you're bringing in an extra $7,000.
Right. Okay.
So, and these charts, this slideshow has charts and everything. And, if anybody's ever interested in one of these,
you got to slow down a little bit.
Sorry. Right. I just kind of wanted to show, what, I don't know why this thing's taking a minute to load. There it is. So this is you're waiting for your appreciation of the property. It shows what you're missing out on, your payments over time. And the big thing that people are so worried about to compete with their neighbor and getting the best rate, that's just not going to happen anymore with people that are locked in at 2-3%.
Exactly.
So you really got to make your financial decisions off of what's best for you, and
it's a lot cheaper than renting.
Current situation. Exactly.
Right.
So my big thing is you want to miss out on that $37,000 of equity to save $200 a month for 2 years, when if the rates do drop, you can always refinance.
Right.
So you can always get that lower rate later, but now you're not missing out on all that equity by waiting.
I agree. That's what I've been telling people, is like, they ask, when's the best time to buy a house? And it's like right now.
Right now, yeah.
But focus on your budget.
Yeah, and I have a hard time telling clients that too. I'm very blunt with them. I don't know when rates are exactly going to drop.
Right.
But I can tell you that the predictions of the appreciation of homes in our area is not going to slow down anytime soon. We're not going to see a big
Right.
bar. You know, lenders aren't writing bad loans anymore. So we're not going to see that big bubble bust because everybody's in foreclosure and underwater, you know, for the
Right.
simple fact that we make sure people can make their payments. You know,
Right.
that's where we really, so, you know, a lot of people are waiting for that next bust, and I just don't see it coming.
Yep, I agree. That's what all the experts have been telling me as well. It's like
Yeah.
I'm a religious believer in the Cromford Report. I follow KCM, Keeping Current Matters, and they're all kind of saying the same thing. It's going to be
Yep.
a steady next couple of years, and let's make the best of it. You know, take
Exactly.
advantage of our market right now.
Yep.
So, all right, my friend. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time and just showing us all this stuff and just updating me on the latest, you know, the cost of waiting.
Yeah, no
and
problem.
How people are doing buy downs.
Yeah, if you have any of your clients asking you or telling you, you know, they're just waiting, you want me to make this presentation, it literally takes seconds and I'll get it out to you.
Yep. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. And I will see you around. All right.
All right, brother. Take care. Have a
All
good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.